What is going on, guys? Long time no see. I want to start off this video by saying I was a little bit under the weather over the holidays. I don't know if I had the Rona, the Omicron, whatever variant we're at now. I took a test, tested negative, but was still sick for a while. Not bad or anything, but I sounded really nasally, and I didn't want to record a video, while I sounded all gross. I still am a little bit nasally, but not nearly as much as I was. I did do the whole quarantine thing, even though I tested negative. Less because I'm a good citizen and more because that's pretty much already how I live to begin with. Sitting inside playing video games and watching movies all day doesn't require a big shake-up to my daily routine. So yeah, I just wanted to explain why, my last video was like a month ago. We're going to be getting back into the groove now, 2022, new year. Hopefully, I want to make a lot more stuff this year. 2021, my output in general was pretty weak. With that said, the talk of the town over this past weekend was the rumor that Mario Kart 9 is in active development and could even be revealed as soon as this year. Could Nintendo finally be satisfied with the sales of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ready to, put out a new Mario Kart game? It seems hard to believe. But a lot of the discussions I saw around this news had to deal with the game potentially casting a wider net with its cast and becoming more of a Nintendo Kart of sorts. Nintendo Kart was trending throughout the entire weekend. Also, with the Switch successor looming in the distance, people have been discussing whether or not this game would even release on the current Switch, or would it be something Nintendo holds off as an exclusive for their next system. So I want to discuss basically those two things in this video. Should this game effectively be a Nintendo Kart, have more of a Smash vibe with the characters from different IPs, as well as will this game be on the Nintendo Switch, or should Nintendo save it for their next platform? So first, there's this question of opening the game up even more and making it, a Nintendo Kart of sorts. This debate's been going on pretty much forever, and that's because we've already been moving in this direction. I honestly don't even get when I see people being like, oh, we don't need another Smash Brothers big crossover type game, keep it pure, centered around Mario. Like, did you not play the last game that released in this series with Zelda, Animal Crossing, Splatoon? Are we really acting like this isn't already becoming Nintendo Kart? I guess if you were against those additions, I could see where you're coming from, but I don't remember there being much backlash over, like the Inklings or anything. Unless people are thinking like they're going to rebrand the whole thing as Nintendo Kart or something different, which I don't think they would ever do. I think it's going to continue for sure to be Mario Kart. Might not be straight up Mario Kart 9, might have one of the subtitle things instead like they've done in the past, but I don't think there's any way they're dropping the Mario Kart brand. I take this as just, adding more non-Mario IPs. And when you look at roster inclusions like Metal Mario, Gold Mario, Pink Gold Peach, are you really going to act like Kirby would bring the roster down? Like, oh, we wouldn't want to cheapen the experience, make it weird by including Samus in the Metroid IP. Maybe instead they should do another Mercedes-Benz crossover. That makes a lot more sense, right? Yeah, the idea that we have some people more concerned with Nintendo IPs diluting or cheapening the Mario Kart experience than they were for the Mercedes-Benz crossover, I find that hilarious. Now, with that said, I do get people's concerns with them possibly going too hard in the crossover direction if they did decide to lean more that way. And the negative is it could push the Mario characters to the side. Obviously, if you bring in more IPs, it may make sense to bring more of the bigger characters from those franchises in rather than digging more deeply into the Mario side of things. And it could result in just less completely original courses as well as, music tracks. I totally get that, and I wouldn't want all the new stuff for a Mario Kart 9 to be based on other games. While it's certainly cool to have Link's Hyrule track, I'd also want stuff that's completely original to, Mario Kart 9. But I think you can still have both. just like in 8, right? I mean, 8 again brought in Zelda, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, as well as a ton more Mario characters like the Koopa Kids and such. And like I just said, there are plenty of dupe characters that could get thinned out to make room if you're just worried about the roster being too big. I mean, I wouldn't mourn the loss of Pink, Gold, Peach, personally. I'd be able to survive without her. And if you brought back the, I guess you could call them guest characters that were in 8, and even just added like 3 or 4 more IPs, I think just there you'd have enough to justify this being more of a Nintendo cart. And again, I think there'd still be plenty of room for Mario characters and new original courses in that. Also, like Smash, I think bringing more characters and IPs into this game could help elevate them, perhaps get people to check them out. As I'll talk about more in a minute, Mario Kart is obviously a sales juggernaut. These games always have a massive attach rate with the Nintendo systems, so I think it's another way to get different characters just in front of people. Going back to the Inklings, with Splatoon being a newer franchise, I wouldn't be surprised if Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was the first introduction to some people to the Inklings, and because they thought they were cool in Mario Kart 8, they may have checked out Splatoon as a result. Not to mention, I know it's been a long time since the original Mario Kart 8 released. We've been playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for what feels like 100 years. But with a fresh 9, that means there's the potential for these characters to come later as DLC. I think, again, like Smash, future DLC characters can generate hype around like Nintendo Directs and that. I don't think it would be anywhere near the hype as Smash Fighter reveals, don't get me wrong, but it's something. I think if you came out and said, yeah, we're going to keep adding to the game, there's going to be DLC characters with their, of course, own tracks and stuff like that, people would instantly begin speculating who's going to be included, who they'd like to be included, people being like, I hope they add Kirby, I'm pulling for K. Rool. And I also think with DLC, you kind of need the added star power to get people excited about buying it. I think that's why we saw like the Animal Crossing, Zelda stuff in Mario Kart 8, trying to keep this more of a pure Mario experience while having DLC. I think it would be tough. I mean, you take a character, I don't know, like a Goomba, I think would be funny with their no arms as a new driver, but is a Goomba gonna really get you the sales that a Samus or a Kirby would get you? I mean, no, there's no way. And again, I think Nintendo knew that when they did the Mario Kart 8 DLC, and we'd see that continue with Mario Kart 9. So yeah, I think the Nintendo Kart idea makes all the sense in the world. Like I said at the top, they've already been kind of heading in this direction. I think it'd be something that's exciting for players. And I think as long as the game also has, the original courses, continues to dig into the Mario lineup side of things, I think you can do both sides justice, I'll say. Which brings us to their big question. If this game is in active development, is it being developed for the Nintendo Switch, or are they holding it for the next system? This mostly boils down, I think, to the question of copies versus system sales. If you release the game on the current Switch, you've got that huge install base to take advantage of. You can sell way more copies, but holding it as an exclusive for the next-gen Switch or whatever will surely help boost that system's sales. I'd lean heavily towards the former for a few reasons. Like I said, the sales potential of having it on the current Switch with its massive install base, but also I don't think selling consoles for the Switch successor is going to be a problem, given that it does end up being an actual Switch successor and Nintendo doesn't do a whole new thing. But I think with how successful the Switch has been, especially coming off of the disaster that the Wii U was, I think they'll play it safe and keep the portable hybrid concept at least. They could always add, some new controller stuff, maybe a dock that adds some more power, but I think they'll keep the hybrid concept, and people have been salivating for a more powerful Switch pretty much since day one. Rumors of a Switch Pro have trended for years now. There are a lot of people who are going to jump right on that system at launch, regardless of what games are available. Also, I think you have to consider the current supply chain issues, the chip shortages and that, which are hurting the new PS5 and Xbox Series X. I mean, those systems have been out well over a year now, and they're about as hard to get as they were on launch day, still selling out instantly whenever they become available. And I assume that's why we're seeing most games release on both the current and past gen for such an extended period on those systems. While sure, a Switch 2 or whatever is probably quite a ways off. Hopefully the supply chain stuff gets ironed out before then. Both Microsoft and Sony have said they expect the issues to persist throughout 2022. And if, say, the Switch launched, I don't know, holiday 2023, even March 2024 for the Switch anniversary, they'd have to start manufacturing systems well before then. And once more, even without supply issues, it's normal for a brand new system to be sold out for a while. So I think there's a lot of good reasons for Nintendo to do a similar deal, have the games going cross-gen for a bit. Now, Nintendo is typically the worst when it comes to supporting old consoles. Like, when a new system, a successor comes out, they typically stop releasing games for the last one almost immediately. But again, given these trends, as well as just how much better the competition is getting with cross-gen play, I think Nintendo will hopefully come around with the next gen. I'd hope you wouldn't need to buy like a Mario Kart 9 Deluxe to play the game on the next system if you bought 9 like on the current Switch. Basically the situation we had with 8. I think people are over that, and Nintendo typically handles that stuff better on the handheld side of things, so hopefully they'll more so follow the handheld route instead of like what they've done with home consoles in the past. The only big benefit I could see from them making Mario Kart 9 an exclusive for their next-gen system would be being able to take advantage of more powerful hardware. We'd expect, right, the next Switch to have a major jump in power, and if this new Mario Kart was exclusive to that system, they could probably make it look insane. I don't see that as good enough of a reason for Nintendo to hold it back, especially considering we are talking about Nintendo. Have you ever known them to be super concerned with having the bestest, fanciest graphics? And I don't even see that as too big of a deal when you consider how good 8 looks. I would certainly want them to change the style a bit with 9. I wouldn't want it to look just like 8, but quality-wise, I think 8 is still a fantastic game to look at, and considering a next-gen bump, like if you took Mario Kart 8 and had even just the same game running like in 4K, 60 frames per second, I think it'd look phenomenal, especially on a big TV. So I'd figure a similar case with 9. You'd get a Switch version, and then, a kind of more maybe 4K version that's available on the Switch 2 or whatever. So yeah, myself, I'm totally down for Mario Kart becoming more of a Nintendo Kart type deal. I feel like it's already been trending that way, and as long as they still put, original tracks, more Mario-specific characters into the game as well, keep things balanced that way, I don't see there being a problem. And I think a Mario Kart 9 would be on both the current Switch as well as the next-gen Switch. May even be like a Breath of the Wild type deal where it releases on both at the same time. Just like with the Switch, I think you'd want to have a Mario Kart on, the Switch 2 or whatever as soon as possible. I mean, what was it, like a month after the Switch came out, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe released? So they could be doing something like that as well. But I would bet it's going to be on both systems. Of course, I want to know what you guys think though, so let me know in the comments. Do you think Mario Kart 9 should go more the Nintendo Kart direction? And do you think it'll be exclusive to their next-gen system, or do you think it'd be like a cross-gen type release? As always, I'm the Shy Guy, Johnny Zakari, and thanks for watching.